support businesses to thrive. The Vice President also commends the State Governor for collaborating with the federal government in the implementation of the various federal programs in the state for the benefit of the people.
I want to further assure participants that every effort will be made to address the challenges and bottlenecks that they may be facing. I must also encourage you to bring any of the issues, especially the issues to do with approvals and all of that, to the attention of the MSME Clinic Secretariat between today and tomorrow to get assistance and quick responses from some of the relevant agencies.
His Excellency the President also recently tasked our Vice President, who is leading the steering committee of the National Poverty Reduction and Growth Strategy. Tax was lifting 100 million out of poverty in 10 years.
For every state and local government in the country needs to identify specific areas of comparative advantage, particularly in agriculture and other resource endowments, and strive to optimize competencies.
Still in Jigawa State, the Vice President also joined the State Governor in the distribution of agricultural machineries and equipment.
Also, the federal government has welcomed the proposal by Pan-African financial institution, Afreximbank, to invest $2.5 billion in the Nigerian economy with focus on oil and gas, health, and manufacturing sectors. Secretary to the government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, while receiving Afreximbank's management in Abuja, says the investment will further reposition Nigeria as an economic hub in Africa.
Financial institutions that have the capacity and the knowledge to help us sustain the modest gains that have been made.
Meanwhile, Afreximbank has been recognized by Global Trade Review as leader in trade for pandemic support and ranked by Global Finance magazine in its annual World's Best Investment Banks list 2021 as the best bank offering crisis finance solutions in Africa in the fight against COVID-19 pandemic. These recognitions were as a result of Afreximbank's swift action at the beginning of the pandemic when the bank launched its Pandemic Trade Impact Mitigation Facility in March 2020 and the $1.5 billion collaborative COVID-19 pandemic response facility in November 2020. Moving on, President Muhammadu Buhari has approved and directed immediate disbursement of fertilizer subsidy fund to smallholder vulnerable farmers in the country. A statement by Senior Special Assistant on Agriculture, Andrew Kwasari, says the benefiting farmers have been enumerated in the database of Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development. The statement further indicates that the disbursement will be in batches. A total of 6,150 naira will be disbursed to 1,209,143 farmers in the first batch. President Buhari therefore called on the State Agricultural Development Project to enumerate more smallholder vulnerable farmers to support food security initiative of the federal government. Well, Senate has passed the Petroleum Industry Bill, which it says, when signed into law, will reflect the yearnings of stakeholders in the oil and gas sector and make the market more competitive in Nigeria. At the House of Representatives, the report on the PIB bill was considered and approved. National Assembly correspondent Lami Ali reports.
Consideration of the report began with a closed-door session involving the Minister of State for Petroleum Resources and the Group Managing Director of the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation. 2 hours after the executive session, senators began clause-by-clause consideration of the bill presented by the Senate Joint Committee on Petroleum Downstream, Upstream and Gas.
One pass into law will strengthen the accountability, transparency of the NNPC Limited as a full-fledged Karma company under statutory regulations, oversight with better returns to its shareholders, the Nigerian people.
This gas flaring is making people sick. It is damaging the environment. The remediation we seek is not construction of pipelines.
They are optimistic that the bill, which is made up of 5 chapters which include governance and institutions, administration, host communities development, fiscal framework and miscellaneous provisions, will bring about the long-awaited change in the oil and gas sector. But a point of order from Senator Ahmed Bakaita resulted in the reduction of the 5% for Host Communities Development Fund to 3%.
The amendment is just instead of 5% to read 3%.
This elicited a call for division from Senator George Sekibo, which was eventually withdrawn.
That you increase the number a little bit and put the question again.
The bill also made provision for 30% of funding for exploration of frontier basins across the country and making the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation a commercial and limited liability company.
Those in favor that this bill be now read the third time, say aye. Those against, say nay. The ayes have it. At least the demons have been defeated in this chamber. We have passed the bill by the grace of God. And let me also say that this is one of the products of the executive and the legislature working together.
Well, joining me to look at the PIB is Dr. Billy Gillis-Harry, the National President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. You're welcome to Business Express.
Thank you so much, sir.
Doctor, it's been a long, long journey, decades, 10 years, 15 years, 18 years. Finally, we are here, the PIB. What are the key points for you in this PIB?
Well, 13 years is a long time coming, but we are very happy that it has finally come to happen. I personally want to express my joy as the leader of all the retail outlets in this country that this bill will be the game changer. It will be the game changer that will certainly make way for investor confidence to be restored in Nigeria. The governance, rules, fiscal, administrative values will be clearly spelled out, because the bill clearly makes us to understand that there will be two effective regulatory bodies. The commission, which will be in charge of upstream, and the authority, which will be in charge of midstream and downstream. Now, every other thing that needs to be tinkered with, after this has been passed, and hopefully the president gives a sense to it as fast as it gets to his table, this country, I believe, will know better. Thanks to Mr. President, to the Minister of Petroleum, the Minister of State, and also Mr. Melekari, the Senate President, the Chairman of Upstream, Senator Bassi Albert, and all of their teams. Every one of them have made Nigeria proud.
Okay, talking about tinkering, I want to know, what are your thoughts on the equity shareholding? Because already the Senate passed 3%, while we have a 5% proposal by the House.
Well, that will be still, I believe, subject to some kind of discussion, because 5% was actually approved even by the House of Reps.
Okay.
And for whatever reason, the Senate, in their wisdom, reduced it to 3% for host communities. Well, this is actually supposed to make sure that the host community supports, works very productively to encourage investors to be in that area. So, I mean, giving 5% would not have been anything too big, but we have started with 3%. So hopefully we'll get there and be able to even get beyond that. Because if the hosts communities are very supportive, then we can meet our 40 billion reserve, projection, and 4 billion per day projection, barrels of production projection. So it's very critical that that should be done.
Okay, looking at figures, according to the Nigerian Extractive Industries Transparency Initiative, that is NTA, disclosed that over $10.4 billion and about 378.7 billion naira were lost through under-remittances, inefficiencies, theft, or absence of a clear governance framework for the oil and gas industry. What do you make of this? And with this law, with this framework in place now, are we seeing the end of these losses?
Well, NTA have their information, and I'm sure they must have done some really thorough analysis to get to those decisions. For businessmen like us, we will be focused on how to make production work better, to make sure that we have enough
activity in the economic sector to make the industry to be productive and beneficial. We will worry ourselves with the technicalities of what is actually going to happen with the bill being assented to. Once the bill is being assented to, we can be sure that investor confidence in this country will rise. And of course, because of the governance structure that is already coming on board with this PIB that has gone through the House of Reps and the Senate, there is already provision for very disciplined fiscal management. So I believe that we should get to the point where we should not be talking about such colossal sums of money being frittered away, for whatever reason. And this is why those of us who are in the private sector that are really, really involved in the day-to-day business, for instance, like our sector, Petroleum Product Retail Outlet Owners Association, our focus will be on how to make all the upstream investment to become useful. Because we are the most critical. The retail outlets are the most critical last mile in the value chain, from upstream to midstream to the downstream.
Yeah.
So our interest will be, let's the PIB bill that is passed by both the House and the Senate be assented to. And let us start the process of working out the privatization process of NNPC, ensuring that all the necessary rules.
Do you see that taking time? Yes, it is hoped that the moment this bill gets to the presidency is going to be accepted to as fast as possible. But the process of privatization down to the impact is expected to create for Nigerians. How long do you think it's going to take? Is this something that's going
to there are timelines already in the bill. Okay. There are timelines. There is a 6-month timeline, there's a 12-month timeline, there's different timelines that are given. And all we need to do is to encourage the authorities to ensure that these rules, these processes are, effectively, policed and made to become practically possible. That's what is required. The time when we pass bills and then pay lip service to it, I think should be over. The authorities should really look at what does the bill say, how do we make it work, and that's where they need associations, organizations like us, because we will certainly want the best practice to be in the field, and that will help us to grow our economy.
Okay, looking at the oil-producing communities, it's been one of the issues that has delayed the passage of this bill.
Yes.
The percentage, 5%, 3%, whichever one. Now that it's been passed, what would this mean for these communities?
Well, I do not see the host communities as just going to sleep and clapping their hands and shouting hallelujah. But I see a situation where reasonableness will, come into focus. Because at the end of the day, 1% of something is better than 100% of nothing. So I will personally, in my capacity, I'm also a Niger Deltan, and the impact of whatever the host communities are asking for will impact on me positively, and also negatively if the mechanics that is supposed to be put in place is not. But I will certainly appeal to our, Niger Delta communities and everywhere. Of course, very soon oil is going to be found in different parts of Nigeria. You can see that 30% of the profits for NNPC is already earmarked for frontier basin exploration services. Yeah. We hope that they will be very well utilized and it will not be money that's just going through the drain, because we need that kind of cash, that kind of money to be pumped into the bloodstream of the economy of this country. And so, the law is already coming to be passed. I believe that the president will give us, because it's one of the high points of the presidency. It's one of the greatest, it's 13 years, one bill. It didn't work through. So this president makes it work. It's something that we should all be happy with. These ministers made it work. This GMD made it work. This Senate president made it work.
Wow.
I personally think that is something that
you also contributed.
Yeah, we all contributed.
Thank you so very much, Dr. Billy Gillis Harry, National President, Petroleum Products Retail Outlet Owners Association of Nigeria. Thank you for sharing your thoughts with us at this particular point.
Thank you.
I hope the PIB is actually a blessing.
It's going to be a blessing.
Thank you very much.
We don't need to leave it only for the authorities. We Nigerians should also do the best we can.
Thank you so very much.
Thank you.
Well, moving on, Minister of Finance budget a national industry bill by the Senate and insists subsidy on petrol must go to give more fiscal room for meaningful development. She was speaking at the public consultation on the draft 2022 to 2024 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. Leah Katung-Babatunde completes the story.
The public consultation is the first in the series before the draft document is made into a working medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper. 13.98 trillion naira is the planned expenditure for 2022. Upscaling revenues is the biggest task before policymakers at the moment as a result of the coronavirus pandemic. 900 billion naira is being planned for payment of subsidies, but the Minister of Finance, Budget and National Planning, Zainab Ahmed, says resting the unsustainable subsidy regime is long overdue.
So we do need to get rid of subsidy completely. That is our view in the ministry. It's not a popular view by Labour, but that will be the most practical thing to do. Right now, we are subsidizing not only consumption in Nigeria, but consumption within the whole region. We have a price of about 165 naira, $10, but our neighbors are selling PMS at about $500. So the beneficiaries are actually the marketers that are taking this fuel from Nigeria across to our neighboring countries. They are the ones that are making the profit.
A look at the macroeconomic projections driving the plan show oil prices standing at $57 in 2022 and production at 1.88 million barrels per day. Inflation 13% in 2022. 10% in 2024, with GDP rising by 4.2% in 2022 and 2.3% in 2024.
And if the necessary reforms that we project, like the removals of some of these subsidies, we will have a lot of funds available to be able to grow our GDP higher than our population.
The draft 2022 to 2024 MTF and FSP has been prepared against the backdrop of global economic recovery amidst improved vaccination outlook and lower incidence of infection.
We now move to the commodities market, where OPEC boosted oil production last month by the most in a year, in line with plans to meet rising demand as countries recover from the pandemic. Meanwhile, the Organization of the Petroleum Exporting Countries and its allies appear set to increase their combined oil production by about 2 million barrels per day from August to December to meet recovery in global oil demand. Ministers from OPEC and their allies, known as OPEC Plus, began online meetings on Thursday, and the Alliance's Joint Committee recommended the group adds 400,000 barrels per day each month from August to December, responding to oil demand destruction caused by the COVID-19 crisis. OPEC Plus last year agreed to cut output by almost 10 million barrels per day from May 2020, with plans to phase out the caps by the end of April 2022. And the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, has granted a one-month extension for the filing of company income tax returns by taxpayers with December 31st, 2020 accounting year end, whose statutory tax returns were due not later than 30th June 2021. This extension was contained in a public notice of 30th June 2021 signed by the service's executive chairman, Mohammed Nami According to NEMI, the extension suspends corresponding late returns penalty and interest for late filing for the period of the extension, provided that the filing process is concluded on the FIRS Tax Pro Max platform and the tax due is paid using the payment reference number on or before 31st July 2021. The extension also provides an opportunity to taxpayers to upload all unused WHT credit notes into the tax Pro Max, not later than 31st July 2021. The FIRS is granting the 30-day extension as a result of glitches experienced on its recently deployed Tax Pro Max platform solution by some taxpayers while trying to complete their annual filing processes. And the Tax Pro Max solution was introduced last month by the Federal Inland Revenue Service, FIRS, to ease tax compliance as Nigeria continues to address revenue shortfall occasioned by the coronavirus pandemic, and results are already trickling in improving the country's tax administration system. The system enables taxpayers to generate an obligatory document identity number, DIN, before they can make remittance, and is already gaining traction in the country.
No doubt on the performance of the Tax Pro Max so far, because the company, as you had, Indorama, said that it was seamless. They started Saturday. By Monday morning, they filed over 14 billion naira on the platform. And there is nothing that could be so better than this.
Our Tax Pro Max is very robust, very user-friendly, and we have been able to file the income tax returns in time. We have been able to make the payments before 30th June. Hence, we find that is a user-friendly software.
Next is Global Markets with Bosede Ebo.
And welcome to the Global Market Review segment. Stocks traded in an anxious way this Friday as markets across the globe anticipate the all-important monthly jobs report from the U.S. Stock markets in Africa traded positive this Friday after bouncing back from the losses recorded at the beginning of the week. South Africa's JSE Africa Top 40, Nairobi's All-Share and Tunisia's Tunidex were positive. Namibia's overall index was negative, while Ghana's GSE Composite was marginally positive. Stocks in Asia were mixed, and mainland Chinese stocks were among the biggest losers regionally, as the Shanghai Composite fell 1.95% to close 3,518.76. Hang Seng Index dipped 1.8% to close 28,310.42, while Nikkei topped 0.27% to close 28,783.28. European markets were modestly higher in early trade Friday as investors also await the closely watched U.S. jobs report. Britain's FTSE was up 0.08%, DAX 0.35% higher, and CAC 40 also topped 0.05%. Futures contracts tied to the major U.S. stock indices were flat on Friday as Wall Street awaits the key June jobs reports. Dow Jones Industrial Average, S&P 500, and Nasdaq Composite were positive. That's the Global Market Reports. I am Bosede Ebo.
That wraps Business Express for this particular edition. Business Express returns on Monday at 3 p.m. Stay safe.
is architected and designed by the Almighty.
Someone who is a Christian is someone who lives a life of Jesus Christ. And the life of Jesus Christ is a life of sacrifice.
Yes.
This is the network service of the NTA.
.21 p.m. Interrogation of hardened criminals will run away after burning down the house.
Officer, I'm not a criminal. They owe me for ransom.
The first boy they protest is saying name na Ransom Kuti.
Officer, please, his name is not Ransom Kuti. His name is Raymond Nnodu. He is Buchi's younger brother. He is my cousin, and we can't even find Buchi as we're talking right now, and all of us here, we are innocent.
The other one, they form humble, named Innocent Sidibia.
Now what the what? Look here, officer, man. I don't work an operation and running here, but you can't treat me this way. I'm an American citizen.
The third one, they rap, named Bado.
So what the what?
Officer, see, this thing is not funny. This thing is not funny. We were not there when that house got burnt. Do you understand me? None of us were there. I'm telling you that we're innocent.
So you are the detective, eh?
Eh? Are you sure? You want to be teaching me how to do my job?
Yes, officer. He's trying to teach you how to do your job because you don't know how to do your job.
You say what?
I said, in America, you would have offered us some tea and some coffee and some scones or biscuits or something like that, right? And ask really good questions. You know, I'm going to show you how to do this, man, because you don't know how to do it. Okay? Now, first of all, excuse me.
What did it?
All right, so what we're going to do?
What did it? What did it?
Okay.
Give me. Hey. Do they Chris? Look, now still you go sleep this night. You know, man?
Calm down, officer, okay? He don't even look like a real police officer, man. Is this your name or badge? What is it?
Officer, run for your life. Officer, run for your life.
You know, man? Hello? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, I am interrogating them right now, sir. Yes, in fact, okay, I am going to put them for that cell where they inside where they keep hardened criminals. Sir? Release them? But okay, they are hardened criminals, arsonists, killers, liars. Yes, sir. Immediately, sir. Yes, sir.
Meaning what?
What? Try to help you out, but you didn't listen. Excuse me. Good Taylor.
Fela Kuti.
Will somebody just shut this boy up?
Now my brother Buchi don lost. Wetin I go tell Momsi?
Hey, Raymond, that's enough. Sugar, please, I don't know where to start from, but let me apologize
What
for
are you apologizing for? No, I want to know, what are you apologizing for? Is it your apology that will build the house you guys burnt down? Tell me. Hello, Mom. Yes, I'm actually at Uncle Judy's house right now. Yeah, the one in Sunrise Estate. I actually prefer this one. Yes, I know, Mom. I know the one in Ocean View is bigger, but I actually prefer this one. Yes, I will take care of it. I will. Okay. So how's the weather in the States? Oh, that's good. That's good. You know what, Mom? Let me call you back. I'm actually with the insurance lady right now. I'll talk to you later. Okay. Yeah, I love you too. You know what? You guys should thank your stars and Dorothy over here for securing your release. Left for me, you guys will rot in jail to learn the lesson of your lives.
Oh, thank you very much.
Oh, girl, you shouldn't have done that.
You guys stop this rubbish. What nonsense is this?
Sugar, we're just trying to show gratitude.
Hold your Thanksgiving. See, temporarily you guys are out of prison and you're still under arrest in this house. And you're going to remain in my uncle's house until they find the cause of the fire.
Excuse me, girls.
Where do you think you're going?
Hey, man. Hey, man. Hey. Man, this is a breach of my fundamental human rights, dog. I don't even stay in your house.
Hey, Siri, were you not in the house the day the fire incident happened? And you know what? If not because of the fact that Buchi is actually missing, you'll be the prime suspect, right?
Say what the what? Me?
It's Siri.
What's up, man?
Shage, it's a pity this is how we all got to know one another. But, oh, no. Man has to move now. Later turns.
All right. And where do you think you're going? No, where do you think you're going?
To go and look for my lost brother, Buchi.
But that's what the police is doing exactly. You know, no one leaves this house. And I mean that. You're not going anywhere until they apprehend Buchi and find the cause of the fire.
Nivea Men Deep Antiperspirant with black carbon formula. 48-hour protection from sweat and bacteria. For a deep, clean feeling that lasts. New Nivea Men Deep Antiperspirant. Nivea Men, it starts with you. Official sponsor of Real Madrid.
Why do we do it? Hide, cover up, tone down? Choose boldness. Celebrate the skin you're in and dress with confidence with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. The triple-layered care of deep moisture serum, precious cocoa butter, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Wear your skin with pride every time with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion.
Raymond, go. Where you foresee those things?
For inside this house now, bros, if you check where, if you scatter this house, you go see these things.
What do you want to do now?
What do you use and do now? Bro, when you come up for this house, you don't tire me. See, I don't think go sell real life. Come house again, they do sell life. You know if you sell, bros.
Okay, so assuming you feel even break out of this house, and you want to break out of the fence and the gate, how?
How for you, bros? And now you talk, say, the way you talk this proverb, say, when you get to the front of the canal, you will cross it. So when I get to the front of the gate, I will. Oh, la.
Now, no, say your mumuna hereditary. It be like say the tattoo foolishness for your brain. I tell you.
Hey, y'all. My brother. I have the perfect solution to escape this apartment. First, we find Buchi, then we know the true cause of the fire, and then we can get out of here.
Well done. Inspector Colombo, you try.
Check it. I put out Buchi's pictures as a wanted person instead of a missing person. That way, people will respond quickly because a wanted person is a dangerous person. Also, I added 1 million naira as a reward.
Tuangalanga. So, who won't pay that 1 million naira reward now?
Buchi, of course, as punishment. Check it.
Bring that there. Nonsense. For this house. Rubbish now, this life. So my own brother face will come there everywhere for street like say be criminal, Abi. No. You are too old. They see you are too mature. We don't do like this anymore.
You asked what?
We are the social media. We are the social media. Hey.
What is wrong with all of you? What is wrong with all of you? My goodness. First you burned down my mom's house. Now you're trying to destroy properties in my uncle's house. What did I ever do to deserve you guys? Really?
No, really. You just saved a life, really. Because what you are going to do is serious. Hey. Why you did do like this?
Stop now.
Why you do like this?
What you say, my boy?
For plan Mageddon.
What you say, my boy?
Relax.
Huh?
Will you all just keep quiet?
You don't know me.
Will you all just keep quiet?
You don't know me.
Sit down and listen. Listen.
All right, player. All right.
Just sit down and listen.
All right, player.
Before you destroy something else in this house. Wow. Okay, so here's the thing. I've set up some safety precautions for you guys to abide by in this house.
Say what?
And then the unbreakable 11 commandments that you'd have to live by, all of you.
Shege, which one be 11 commandments again? You be Father Moses?
Father Moses.
Very funny, but not so funny. Okay, on to more serious matters. Here are the unbreakable 11 commandments that you'd have to live by. And I mean it. You cannot break these laws. Now, as I say these laws, you'd have to recite them after me. Do you understand? Do you understand?
We understand, ma'am.
Now, number 1. Thou shalt not bring any girl overnight.
Thou shalt not bring any girl overnight.
Thou shalt contribute equally for the house upkeep.
Thou shalt contribute equally to the house upkeep.
Thou shalt not host any house parties.
Thou shalt not host any house parties.
Thou shalt not bring any parent into this apartment.
Thou shalt not bring any parents into this house.
Thou shalt not be involved in any fraudulent activities in this house.
Thou shalt not be involved in any fraudulent activities in this house.
Thou shalt not bring any underage into this house.
Siri, thou shalt not bring any underage into this house.
Hey, man, I don't like little girls anymore.
I'm serious, Siri.
I'm serious too, man. I don't like girls. I mean, little girls.
All squatters are equal.
All squatters are equal.
Thou shalt not bring any couple into this house.
Thou shalt not bring any couple into this house.
Thou shalt not destroy any property within this compound.
Siri, thou shalt not destroy...
All of you.
Okay.
Thou shalt not destroy any
Thou
property.
shalt not destroy any property within this compound.
Thou shalt not be caught.
Thou shalt
Cannot
not
be caught.
Thou shalt not covet anyone's babe or property in this house.
Thou shalt not covet anyone's babe or property in this compound.
How about that?
I have said my own, and that's it.
Oh, but wait. There's one law that you have not included there. Thou shalt not pay rent in this house.
What's up now? I see you playing.
As you can see, I'm not laughing. It's not funny. As soon as they find the cause of the fire, you guys are leaving this house. And I mean it.
Okay, Shege, but wait, with all these many laws where they give us, so how you want Mokute remember them? I be for your mind, you say we get magnet for brain?
Funny thing is, why did I ever think you're going to ask me this exact same question? Interesting. So, this is for you to learn and know the laws, and you have to abide by them. It's very, very important. If not, I'll throw your things out, and that's it.
Shege, not a joke. Oh.
Me, I don't get plans for all these things, though.
Show you the here now.
Me, I don't get plans for all these. Me, I won't come on for me. I don't get plans for all these things, though. You did think?
Nivea Men Deep Antiperspirant with black carbon formula. 48-hour protection from sweat and bacteria. For a deep, clean feeling that lasts. New Nivea Men Deep Antiperspirant. Nivea Men, it starts with you. Official sponsor of Real Madrid.
Why do we do it? Hide, cover up, tone down? Choose boldness. Celebrate the skin you're in and dress with confidence with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion. The triple layered care of deep moisture serum, precious cocoa butter, and vitamin E enriches your skin for 48 hours. It's time to show off your best skin. Wear your skin with pride every time with Nivea Nourishing Cocoa Body Lotion.
What kind
of with this? Eh? What kind of place is this? Eh? Eh? Who be that? Who be that now? Who? Oh, wow. Who did here? What's up? Pretty babe. How you doing? You good? You good? Because I was thinking of an angel and you just walked right in, baby. You good? You good? You good? You look cute like your eyes, baby. Oh, I don't know, but welcome to my paradise. See what you've been missing in heaven. Cute babe, how you doing?
Are you Papa's brother?
No, Buchi's brother, Papa's cousin.
Oh, no wonder you're so funny.
No, baby, come on. I can do more than just being funny. I also sing, you know? Considering how you've made me feel so far, I've been like speechless. That's how you make me feel when I'm with you. I really can't get to that key right now because you're with the luck, baby.
Wow.
Yeah.
So what's your name?
I'm Raymond. My friends call me Ray Money. Okay? But you can call me Sweet Sugar Ray.
Okay, because you definitely need the sugar for this bread and tea. Sugar wants Papa to have this.
Really?
Yes.
Sugar. Okay, but Angel, come on, check my paradise, right?
Take care.
Can I get your number, your name?
I'll see you some other time. Take care.
Really? Nothing more? The guys upgrade life for this house, so. Hey! We can't, many of us know, but make it. Look at this.
Listen, Shage. See, if care is not taken, hunger will kill us inside this house arrest that you have put us on. We have not eaten anything since morning now. You did what? Oh, Shage, thank you. Thank you very much, man. Thank you. You're a lifesaver. Hey, Raymond.
Bros.
Where did supply where Shage send come from me?
Supply scare. Nothing like supply in this house. This is not an economics class. No supply anywhere.
Raymond, Shage sent his girlfriend to bring bread and tea for me. Where is it?
Oh. You mean that beautiful angel? Now, God said, I mean, she just help me sort this.
Raymond, where is the bread and the tea?
No, bros, that previous line means that I've eaten it.
You have eaten it?
Yes, I've eaten
And
it.
you have the effrontery to tell me that you have eaten it? I've been drunk by day your head. Hey, Siri! Hey, Siri! You see this boy, Raymond?
Yeah.
Buchi's younger brother? He's just like Buchi.
Oh, yeah?
You see, the entire food that they brought for us to eat in this house, everybody, he has eaten it all by himself.
What?
So I'm going to leave you and him together. Whatever you wish, do with him. You have my permission.
Hey, bros.
Bros, my blood will be on your conscience, so Mama go ask you what you do me, and I go, I'm not eating bread. I'm not eating
Mama, see, we have not been able to see your son, but the police are helping us look for him. Yes, Raymond fell down from the staircase, but he's okay. He's fine. Tomorrow? Oh, okay. Bye, Mom. Shage, please, you have to let us go and look for Buchi because the mother just told me that if he doesn't hear from Buchi today, she's going to be here tomorrow.
Well, you guys don't have to worry about that. The police is already on it.
Shage, you're still talking about the police? I said Buchi's mom is going to come here tomorrow. You know what that means? That means you're going to join us in house arrest. You know that?
What are you even saying? What are you saying? First, you guys burnt down my mom's house, and then now a missing Buchi. Okay, you know what? You guys can go look for Buchi. But Raymond is not leaving this house.
Deal.
I did not fall from stairs.
shut the door behind you.
Okay, sugar.
Please do have a seat. What's up, happy people?
Sugar.
Top of the morning to you guys. Yeah. Guys, I've got great news.
Did you find Buchi?
No, not quite. I mean, that's your worry henceforth. I told you. But they found the cause of the fire. Yeah.
Yes, we did. We have finalized the investigation and we discovered that the fire was caused by an accidental electrical fault. Lucky the house was insured. So, Shege, right after the documentation, we will pay the claims.
Of course, absolutely.
That's good news, guys.
I know, right?
Wow. Well, Shege, I still haven't gotten somewhere to stay, and we still haven't found Buchi. So,
well, like I said earlier, that's not my business. That's for you guys to worry about.
I'm not leaving this house until I find my brother Buchi. I'm not leaving.
Is he okay?
My foot.
Hey, Siri.
Break my foot.
Siri, do you want to kill him or what?
Man, I'm getting tired of that noise, man.
And by the way, if you had broken this phone, do you have money to buy a new one for him?
Maybe.
You should just count yourself lucky that this phone is not broken.
Please let me pass it.
Raymond. How did Buchi be this?
What?
Where did you see his picture from?
This is Buchi now.
Online. It's not like I... But yeah, sorry, bros. Let me explain. See, Buchi said I should not tell anybody. He said because witches and wizards, you know now. So he said until he settles down in Canada.
Hold on. So you knew Buchi was in Canada all this while?
No, yes.
What?
Yes, no.
Raymond, why now? Why? Do you know that what you have done now is witchcraft?
No, it's not my fault.
Did you get to see the way Telebabadu pulls this?
Don't forget to send in your messages.
There's a difference between picking, child, and issue. That is you can do more with less people.
If we have a better way of addressing these issues, taking care of...
Congratulations, you were able to sign Timo Werner from RB Leipzig.
So you take water before your workout.
People have used their phone, using TikTok to do this like
Should I go for test? Should I...
A lot of people don't even have resources.
I'm Cecil, and this is the Medley Show on NTA.
NTA Sports 24, where sports thrive.
I never get this kind of thing, or I hear it. Abuja Intraproducts Agency then called me because we are partner with them. They say we should come. There is a survivor fund that the government wanted to give technicians.
They capture everybody, including food seller in my own workshop.
When my chairman called me that there is parity something, that I should come and take my cash off, the money now come, and that money helped me a lot. As a widow, where there is no husband. So it's this thing that I used to help myself, and that money helped me and pay some of my children's school fees.
You don't reach almost 40-something years back.
Hello and thank you for joining us on Nationwide on the network service of the NTA. I'm Najat Tijani. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the conviction that Nigerians are not regretting his administration's back-to-land policy as the focus on agriculture is paying off handsomely. This was while receiving an audience the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Ato Haile Mariam Boshi. The report will come in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the Department of State Services has advised Sunday Igboho to present himself to security agencies as soon as possible, as he will not have any hiding place. The summons was made when the DSS paraded 12 of his guards for stockpiling arms in an effort to undermine public order. Francis Form reports.
The arrests and seizures are no doubt a confirmation of a grand plan by Igboho and his cohorts to wage a violent insurrection against the Nigerian state.
Acting on a credible intelligence, a joint team of security operatives approached the residence of Igboho at Soka in Ibadan. The team were allegedly attacked by his suspected guards, armed with AK-47 guns.
Alert foreign missions and licensing authorities within and outside Nigeria about this development and the possibility that Igboho could declare some of his personal permits and identity cards missing in order to seek their replacement. But this will be the end of his shenanigans. Soon, he will not have a hiding place. His strength will sure fail him, and the law will catch up with him.
Items recovered from the suspects include 7 AK-47 rifles, 3 pistol guns, 5,000 rounds of 7.62mm ammunition, charms amongst others. 5 of the AK-47 assorted rifles recovered from the suspects are suspected to be those collected by Igboho and his men from the Nigerian customs and immigration personnel at Idi Iroko in Ogun State. Frank says from NTA News.
Similarly, organizers of the planned Odua Nation mega rally slated for July 3rd in Lagos must shelve the plan and steer clear of any part of the metropolis. The Lagos State Commissioner of Police, Hakeem Odumosu, stated this while fielding questions from journalists on the proposed rally in Lagos. Musa Toliat reports.
Police Hakeem Odumosu said, based on intelligence gathered by the police command, disgruntled elements have perfected plans to infiltrate the ranks of the protesters and cause mayhem during the proposed Yoruba Nation mega rally slated to hold simultaneously in 18 locations across the metropolis.
The State Police Command hereby warns that no rally will be allowed.
under whatever guise in any part of the state. So the command therefore wants the organizers and their followers against staging the planned rally and stay clear of streets of Lagos.
He hinted that information at the disposal of the police command also revealed that a group led by one Elewiomo, a transport union leader in Oyo State, is also warming up to unleash reprisal attack on Sunday Igboho's group to avenge the death of one of his followers allegedly killed by Igboho's group in Lagos. CP Odumosu therefore warned that the command will not fold its hands and allow a repeat of 2020 violent NSAS protest, which led to massive destruction of lives and property in Lagos State.
The command will not be cajoled by the so-called organizers that the rally will be peaceful.
You have a right to protest, but the timing is not right.
In Lagos, Musa Tolian, NTA News.
The Abia Police Command has paraded suspected armed robbers and kidnappers along with recovered firearms and other valuables. The State Police Commissioner, Janet Agbadi, vowed to rid the state of criminal elements, advising others in the business to relocate as they will be matched fire for fire. Delight Gideon reports.
State Police Command said the armed robbery suspects, who are also kidnappers, were arrested in two separate operations. The first 6-man gang has 5 of its members from Obiomangwa local government area of Abia State, while the driver is from Akwa Ibom State. ASBs recovered from them were AK-47 rifle with 25 live ammunitions, a pump-action gun, 10 live cartridges, and Volkswagen Jetta car. The second gang of 2 members from Abia and Ebonyi states allegedly kidnapped one Ozoman Dubese in his Lexus 330 vehicle and eventually killed him after collecting a ransom of 700,000 naira from his family.
They made away with 7 ATM cards, having forcibly obtained their PIN, robbed a former chief judge of Abia State at Aba.
Nah, just a friend. It's my friend who just call me for food. Tell me, say, may I come out, may we go drink. I don't know, say, nah, I rob him, where they go.
I was involved, I will not doubt it. But as in, I was led by some bad friends.
After today, I'm giving my life to Christ. I will not do it again.
The suspects will soon appear in court. In Umuahia, Delight Gideon, NTA News.
Meanwhile, professing speakers at an international summit on the peace and unity of Nigeria say professing peace is not enough, but taking practical steps is the way to go. The summit convened in Abuja with the theme Promoting Peace Within Our Borders. Benny Adams reports.
We all hope for a state of harmony across our borderlines. In every crisis around the world, children suffer the most.
Little Halima understands what it means to live in constant fear. So also is Bulama Muhammad, who barely understands the dividends of peace in the last 10 years. Ugochukwu, on the other hand, cannot call anywhere else home but the north, but feels threatened by the cacophony of separation. They are all saying, enough of the talk shops, it's time to act.
There is something Northern Nigeria brings to the table. There is something Southern Nigeria brings to the table. And if you take that away, you are no longer talking about Nigeria. So can we have more of our statesmen coming together to talk about peace, consensus, and development?
No one here should be reminded of the circumstances of his birth.
The host, Stephen Midala, a victim of insurgency, says beyond a 3-day fiscal meeting, a website is available for the peace dialogue to continue. He calls on all aggrieved persons across the country to join in the conversation for sustainable peace and economic prosperity of the country.
If you are a member of the Boko Haram, anywhere you are, and you can hear my voice, if you are not afraid, please come here. I can assure you of your safety. Come and tell us your view on how to live together, because we are Nigeria cannot continue like this. Growing up in Nigeria in the 80s, I used to have friends from all over the federation, from Benin, from Lagos, from Port Harcourt, and they follow me to Gerikida for Christmas.
The conversation is centered on the theme, promoting peace within our borders. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
And to poverty alleviation, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, has reiterated the federal government's determination to alleviate poverty among Nigerians through various social intervention programs. She said this at a stakeholders meeting on the National Homegrown Schools Feeding Program held in Gusau, Zamfara State. Halliru Muhammad reports.
Meeting with stakeholders on the homegrown school feeding program by the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, was aimed at reviewing the challenges, successes and prospects of the social intervention in Zamfara State. The minister, who commended Zamfara State government and focal persons for supporting the program, said the federal government is committed to getting as many Nigerians as possible out of poverty through social interventions. Some officials of the program who welcomed the meeting called for full implementation of resolutions and recommendations made towards the effective running of the program in the state for better results. In the meantime, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, has distributed engagement letters and some devices to trained independent monitors who will closely monitor all federal government's social intervention programs.
This is a program that kicked off in February, where these selected monitors were trained, and in April this year we also started the distribution of the engagement letters and the devices for these people to move to the field and monitor the programs.
Zamfara State Commissioner for Humanitarian Affairs and Disaster Management, Faika Ahmed, thanked the federal government for initiating people-oriented programs while calling on beneficiaries to take advantage of them. In Gusau, Halliru Muhammad Umar, NTA News.
Similarly, to ensure that the national social investment programs of the Buhari-led administration achieve the desired objectives in Ebonyi State, the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development, Saidia Umar Farouk, has flagged off the distribution of engagement letters and tablets to trained independent monitors in Abakaliki. Kanayo Kuru witnessed the flag-off and now reports.
Monitors of the National Social Investment Program in Ebonyi State will not only ensure that the beneficiaries justify their stipends, but report some of the challenges of the program to the appropriate authority for proper action. Some of the independent monitors, when thanking federal government for finding them worthy to serve, pledged to justify the confidence reposed on them.
I'm going to make sure that those that are benefiting from it get what they're supposed to get.
I will discharge the duties given to me with faithfulness.
Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, who was represented, speak further on the essence of involving monitors in the program.
To detect areas where there are challenges and provide greater visibility of activities happening in the field. Essentially, it will help us deliver our mandate and contribute to the vision of Mr. President to lift 100 million Nigerians out of poverty.
Governor David Umahi, represented by Mrs. Anne Aligwe, expressed optimism that the 56 independent monitors trained and engaged in the state will deliver as scheduled, appealed for more federal government initiative in the interest of Ebonyi people.
Striking force, pushing to make sure that all these social investment programs are moving on well the way it's supposed to move in Ebonyi State. All of you, I know that Ebonyians are known for hard work, and I know that you people will not fail the state.
The independent monitors in the state are expected to work within a period of 1 year. In Abakaliki, Kana Yokoro, NTA News.
To climate matters now, the National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, has presented to the public a document on disaster risk management implications of 2021 and the annual outlook of seasonal climate predictions as part of deliberate efforts to holistically manage any emerging disaster which may occur. The Director General of the agency, Mustafa Habib Ahmed, who presented the document, promised to change the narrative of disaster management for good. Ilyasu Ali Yakubu reports.
Every year, flood comes with its peculiarity
And as such, the dynamics of the approach by the National Emergency Management Agency is usually set in motion. The 2021 flood outlook, as released by the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, indicate that 121 local government areas in 27 states, including the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja, are expected to experience high probability of flood risks. These working documents, as presented by the NEMA DG, is a documented guidance strategy towards managing flood in 2021.
The document contains recommendations aimed at guiding decision makers at national, state, and local government, as well as community levels, to avert adverse consequences, mitigate disaster risks, safeguard food security.
So this collaborative effort between the two agencies is quite commendable.
The release of the 2021 Disaster Risk Management Implementation Report marks the beginning of a series of events throughout the rainy season, including emergency coordination meetings to review response and mitigation strategies. In Abuja, Ilyasu Aliyaku, NTA News.
The United Nations has put together a panel that will review the operational standard of digital media, which will be shared with all member states for safe operation and usage of the new media. The United Nations Deputy Secretary General Amina Mohammed said this when she was hosted by the Minister of Information and Culture in Abuja. Adebola Brooksland Sunday reports.
The new media, which no doubt has been a blessing to mankind in the area of information dissemination, has also come with its negative impacts, such as hate speech and fake news. Hosting the Deputy UN Scribe, Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed said fake news and hate speech have been the tools used by enemies of the states who are out to cast aspersions on the achievements of the present administration.
We discovered recently about 476 online publications that are devoted daily to promoting fake news about this administration and about Nigeria. Despite this, the government has continued to make a lot of, progress, be it in railway, be it in roads or roads, rails or bridges.
On the suspension of Twitter in Nigeria, Lai Mohammed said it's for the good of the country.
And that nobody will use his platform to promote insurgency or promote insecurity. And this is the understanding we crave from the international community.
Young people, this is the way they communicate. With every right, there is an obligation. And I think that what we have to do is to better educate. We have to set norms and standards which will allow an enabling environment where communication can happen in a way that does no harm.
For Amina Mohammed, an amicable resolution is key, and the UN is ready to support the ministry in the actualization of its set goals.
We have a platform called Verified because we were alarmed at the hate speech that was going around the world. And maybe we can share with you how we came about putting that framing in place, and the UN here can add to the solutions that you're looking for to balance this equation.
Amina Mohammed, who urged media practitioners to play within the rule, described free media and freedom of speech as the software that explains how people can invest in any country. Adebola Brooksland Sunday, NTA News.
Let's now take more reports with Adiola in Lagos.
The Petroleum Industry Bill has suffered several setbacks over the years in previous assemblies. With its passage finally by the Ninth Assembly, what is its importance and profit to an average Nigerian? Annie Daniels will tell us.
The Petroleum Industry Bill journey began in year 2000 with various administrations working for its passage. Its passage by the Ninth Assembly, energy experts say, is a welcome development.
That at this time, the bill or the jinx about the bill, passage of the bill had been broken. And this was the way the presidency put it. The presidency was highly elated that at last the National Assembly passed it. It's now left to the operators of both in the private and the public sector to make the best of the bill.
It's going to bring in the kind of investments that will actually add to the economic changes we expect in the country.
These energy experts say the bill will put an end to bureaucratic bottlenecks.
If the system is brought such that we have so abundance of it in the country, where the demand and the supply will almost be at par, or probably supply will even be much more than demand, it becomes competitive.
The Ninth Assembly also pegs operational costs for host communities at 3%, and the Nigerian National Petroleum Corporation is to be unbundled. The bill is expected to be scheduled for third reading and final passage, and afterwards referred to the President for assent. In Lagos, Annie Daniels, NTA News.
Now, the ramp connecting Ijora to Akpongbo end of the Eco Bridge in Lagos will be closed by midnight Friday, 2nd July 2021. This, according to the Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Olukayode Popola, is to allow for repair works on the expansion joints linking the two ramps around Ikmonri. Adeniyi Taiwo reports.
In just 4 weeks, about 35% of the repair work proposed for Eco Bridge have been completed, as 3 out of the 5 expansion joints between Akpongbo and Alaka end of the bridge have been fixed. Federal Controller of Works in Lagos, Olukayode Popola, is happy with the progress and optimistic that the rehabilitation will be delivered ahead of schedule.
You have seen the expansion joints that are in place, and you have seen the bearing that will replace. That's to tell you that the contractor will deliver this job before the 10 weeks that we said we are going to work on this close and then open it to the traffic.
The Ijora ramp conveying vehicles from Apapa inbound Alaka Stadium will, however, be closed effective midnight Friday to make this happen.
All the vehicles that are coming from Ijora, they meet at a point with the vehicle coming from Agbegba. So the expansion joint after that point is what we want to now replace. So as a result of that, the 2 bridges will now be affected.
We have to close it today so we can tomorrow start lifting. Everything is ready. We don't close unless we are ready.
During the closure, vehicles from Ijora are expected to use the coasting ramp and navigate through Ikmonri to connect the stadium road. Meanwhile, work has not stopped under the bridge as engineers are replacing bearings around expansion joints. This is the Ikmonri end of the Eco Bridge, where repair work is currently going on expansion joints. What is happening behind me is what the engineers call pier jacketing. Pier jacketing is an attempt to thicken the pier, which is bearing the weight of the deck upon which we have vehicles moving. The pace of work is, however, being slowed down by activities of commercial motorcyclists who use the bridge and destroy ongoing work on expansion joints after forcefully removing barricades. The Eco Bridge was first constructed in 1975. In Lagos, Adeniyi Taiwo, NTA News.
We're done from Lagos for now, but Amina and Kaduna will take the baton when we return from this break.
Nigerian youths are about the greatest assets the country has at the moment. It is therefore not surprising that the administration of President Muhammadu Buhari is strategically responding to the yearnings of the youth through multiple projects and programs. Youth Entrepreneurship Support Years by Bank of Industry, the Youth Investment Fund by the CBN, and several other conditional cash transfer programs. Recruitment of 774,000 social workers, majority of whom are youths, and so many other projects that are beneficial to youths directly or indirectly. If the administration can do all this, definitely with a degree of patience and time, it can achieve more. Nigerian youths must come together to say no to terrorism, no to vandalism, and no to all disruptive tendencies. Hashtag Youth for Greater Nigeria. Pacifying the youths, unifying the nation.
Welcome to Kaduna. Efforts have been scaled up using modern technology to boost dairy production for both local consumption and export, in addition to increasing the sector's contribution to the nation's gross domestic product. Adamu Sunday reports that towards the end, a pilot dairy production program under the Raw Materials and Development Council has been inaugurated in Kaduna.
Records available suggest that Nigeria loses $1.6 million on milk importation annually, which helps in depleting the nation's foreign reserve. Despite the nation's potentials in animal husbandry, which, if properly harnessed, is enough to address shortfall in local demand and export. Experts are determined to reverse the trend as they come up with a technology-driven process that will boost milk production in the country by improving local breed of cattle through the artificial insemination of hybrid semen. It will produce a new breed, which will be producing milk 3 times than the old breed. Abubakar Umar, a beneficiary of the initiative, is optimistic of the multiplier effects of the program.
The milk our cattle usually produce is very small, but with this artificial insemination, the quantum of milk we are going to be producing will increase.
The scheme was launched at a pastoralist-dominated community in Kubwa local government area to be replicated in identified herders communities in the country.
In the next 2 years, when this inseminated animal, their offspring will come, because that is the improved breed we are looking at, then that very female cattle will be able to have enough milk that will far exceed the indigenous ones.
It's time for us to do away with the way we manage our cattle, our cows for production.
For effective milk preservation, a solar chiller was donated to the community. It is expected that in the foreseeable future, Kaduna State will become the highest milk producer in the country, and the likes of Abubakar won't forget this gesture in a hurry. In Kaduna, Adamu Sunday, NTA News.
The war against drug abuse is recording success in Jigawa State, with communities getting involved in the sensitization efforts against the societal ill. This is manifested as a non-governmental organization takes such campaign to Jahun, where 50 drug addicts renounce the practice. Ibrahim Belogunda reports.
Jigawa is one of the northern states identified by drug law enforcement agents with high rate of youths being engaged in drugs and other substances abuse. The situation has prompted for joint effort between NDLA and various communities to reverse the negative trend. The gathering is a town hall meeting held in Jahun town to sensitize people on the dangers of taking illicit drugs. The good news is that 50 youths have changed for good and currently undergoing rehabilitation in Dutse.
Our NGO is on to fighting against drug abuse. This is why we always go in hand in hand with the organization in order to get a profitable result as per the fight against drug abuse is concerned.
Educate them, we at least sensitize them on the danger inherent in trafficking, abuse, and associating or relating with any substance of abuse.
The traditional institution is playing an important role here in the campaign against the use of illicit drugs, which many described as succeeding. From Dutse, Ibrahim Belogunda, NTA News.
And that's it from here. It's back to Najat in Abuja.
Welcome back to our Abuja studios. Now, the report of President Buhari hosting the former Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Ato Haile Mariam Boshe, is ready. State House correspondent Adamu Sambo has the details.
The former Ethiopian Prime Minister Ato Haile Mariam Boshe is in Nigeria on the auspices of Alliance for Green Revolution, working to promote the development of agriculture in 16 African countries. He congratulated President Muhammadu Buhari for the achievements attained in Nigeria under his watch, especially in agriculture, saying his organization wants to champion the Nigerian policy at the continental level. The former Prime Minister is of the view that Africa should have a common voice on food self-sufficiency as it is capable of feeding the globe. He said if anything has to change on the continent, it must start with Nigeria. President Muhammadu Buhari told the former Ethiopian leader that his administration's back-to-land policy was not only deliberate but most ideal. as petroleum could no longer sustain the country, particularly with fluctuating prices. Today, as the president explained, Nigerians eat what they grow, and the country has stopped importation of many food products. Agriculture, he also said, helps the country to generate employment opportunities for those in need, especially the youth. Already, the president maintains some people are even leaving their offices to go back to the land, and so far, there are no regrets whatsoever. From the State House, Adamu Sambu, NTA News.
Generation of employment and welfare improvement in oil and gas host communities are a few of the desired results from federal government measures aimed at developing the oil and gas free zones. The chairman, House of Representatives Committee on Commerce, Femi Fakeye, made this known during a facility tour of some free zones in Onne, Rivers State. Gabriel Amuniki reports.
Chairman House Committee on Commerce, Femi Fakeye, said the two-day working visit is to assess the synergy, capacity, and activities of oil and gas-free zones in Nigeria.
Most of the companies we visited are alive to their responsibility to their host communities. We have seen stadiums built, schools built, and roads that are being built all the time. And we have even seen and written on roads that they have been able to build from their own resources just to be a blessing to their communities.
Managing Director, Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority, Omana Okon Omana, stated that as part of new paradigm shift, Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority is working to expand investment opportunities for oil and gas businesses through new projects.
Monitor the performance of our budgets as the Oil and Gas Free Zones Authority, and to also see how the free zones are doing, how they are impacting on the economy. I must say that it's been a fruitful visit.
High point was the facility tour of each zone. The zones visited were Intel, Notore, amongst others. Some of the oil companies' executives speak on their challenges.
When you're talking about containers or bulk cargoes, the road network is the major challenge. So we're hoping the committee will go back and mention that the infrastructure challenges that you have around these areas are improved.
The principal law that established OPSTA has been amended at the National Assembly to strengthen the authority for greater operational capacity and efficiency. In Port Harcourt, Gabriel Amunike, NTA News.
Similarly, the federal government of Nigeria is expanding windows of opportunities for youth and women to be self-reliant. This development is as a result of the establishment of skills acquisition centers and classroom blocks in collaboration with the Gombe State government. Emmanuel Akila reports.
A moment of joy to the youths and women of Gombe State for the establishment of a center by the Office of the Senior Special Assistant to the President on Sustainable Development Goals and the Gombe State government to provide them a platform for innovation that will change their lives for better.
Indeed, the Nigerian government has remained committed to the attainment of SDG, which also align perfectly with the cardinal objective of President Muhammadu Buhari administration, which is economy, fight against corruption and security.
For Gombe State, the coming of the center is an impetus to its dreams of industrialization.
While coming here, you saw happiness, you saw joy, and you saw the passion with which they want to utilize this place. And that we shall keep and sustain so that by, inshallah, the end of this tenure, our young men and women would have acquired the skills that they need to advance the course of their lives.
The youths are happy that the government is lifting them out of poverty.
This has brought progress to us in Gombe State, and we are happy about it. We shall learn trade from here that will help us so that we can support our families.
The center is named after the Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Amina Mohammed.
This skills acquisition is for young people, it's for women. It is not only an education that one wants, but when there is not a job, if you yourself are trained to get the job from the market, from the opportunities of your state, you will not be idle.
The Skills Acquisition Center and a block of classrooms are designed and equipped in such a way that theories are put into practice for immediate results. In Gombe, Emmanuel Akila, NTA News.
Securing lives. Sorry, we joined Fatima rather in Makurdi for our next set of reports.
Good evening and welcome to Makurdi. Benue State government has demonstrated commitment to boost food production in the state by flagging off sale and distribution of tons of assorted fertilizers to farmers. Governor Samuel Otom, who performed the ceremony, cautioned those in charge of the distribution process against shortchanging farmers. Charles Abba reports.
Benue State farmers have continued to benefit from subsidy of farm inputs like fertilizers by the state government to ensure high yields of agricultural produce. Lawrence Agbe and Penda Bernard are cassava farmers who describe the flag-off of the sale and distribution of fertilizers by the state government for the 2021 cropping season as timely.
Fertilizer can help a lot because it can make my cassava big. If there's no fertilizer, the cassava won't grow well.
Commissioner for Agriculture, Timothy J. said the ministry will now renege in its reserve to scaling up efforts of encouraging farmers to achieve bumper harvest to ensure food security and economic development.
So I would like to solicit the maximum cooperation of the farmers, the fertilizer vendors, and security agencies, and the entire staff of the Ministry of Agriculture to make sure that we maintain this sanity in the distribution of fertilizers.
Governor Samuel Otom explained that 18 out of 32 trucks of variety of fertilizers, including urea, NPK, and inorganic ones for this year's cropping season, have been delivered.
The urea will be sold for 6,000 naira. The cost of purchase of this urea fertilizer is 12,000 naira, while a liter of organic fertilizer will be sold to farmers at a subsidized rate of 2,000 naira.
The governor expressed optimism that with this deliberate effort of the state government to boost food production, Benue will continue to maintain its status as food basket of the nation. In Makurdi, Charles Abba, NTA News.
In preparation for the national census, which requires the states be demarcated into sizable enumeration areas, the National Population Commission in Makurdi, the Benue State capital, says the commission has started phase 15 of the exercise out of the 17 phases. Sandra Dowese Akeme examines the success and challenges of the exercise so far in Makurdi metropolis.
The enumeration and demarcation is an exercise that is always carried out by the National Population Commission ahead of the population census, with its advantages not limited to population census only. This strategy, the Federal Commissioner of the Commission, Patricia Kupchi, says the exercise will grant the Commission easy identification of locations, persons, and houses during the national census, as well as for policy planning and implementation by the federal government.
We are breaking down the local governments into smaller units where if census were to occur tomorrow, you would send a pair of enumerators. When we go to a place, all the physical attributes are taken.
The State Director, National Population Commission, Mr. Stephen Semende, says, despite the security threat in most of the local government areas, the Benue State government has been working round the clock to ensure the safety of the field officers.
From reports, everybody knows that we have serious security threats in Kasnala, in Okum. There's restriction on movement. You can't use motorcycles in those areas. We look at that as another serious challenge.
Moving around the metropolis to monitor the exercise, some of the demarcators shared their experiences.
The responses have not been too good, especially in fenced buildings. Most times the respondents don't attend to us on time.
The trekking, that is number one.
It's very tedious.
Authorities therefore appealed to parents to comply with birth registration of their children at the National Population Commission. In Makudi, Sandra Dewisi Akeme, NTA News.
And that report concludes our contribution from Makudi. Nationwide continues in Ibadan with Larry after the break.
Of our fathers.
I will urge and advise our younger generation to use talent and brain to sort out problems, not arms.
Nigerian youths, let's build our nation together.
Finally, Euro 2020 is here. Enjoy all the matches live on Star Times for only 1,700 Naira monthly or 160 Naira per day. Recharge now to enjoy all the matches. Watch Cristiano Ronaldo of Portugal, Mbappe of France, Lukaku of Belgium, and other top European football stars. No matter where you are, Star Times is here for you. You can enjoy all these matches on your mobile phone. Just download Star Times on app on your phone to watch all the matches for 1,000 Naira monthly or 400 Naira weekly. Recharge today with 1,700 Naira monthly or 160 Naira daily. That's right, you heard me. On Star Times, you can watch all the matches with monthly subscription of 1,700 Naira or daily subscription of 160 Naira. Terms and conditions apply. Star Times, enjoy digital life.
This withdrawal will take place under this administration.
Well, I don't want you to conclude on me.
All right, so
yes, we actually would like to, but you have also mentioned something very important.
Right.
You mentioned the issue of palliatives.
Right.
Oil and gas under the Buhari administration. That's on one with the Minister of State, Petroleum Resources.
People don't realize in Nigeria that a gas cylinder has a manufacture date and an expiry date. So a lot of expired cylinders were also brought into the country.
One on One, Friday, 10:30 p.m. on NTA.
Nationwide, and welcome to Ibadan. The Nigerian Army Day celebration will continue to remain significant in the hearts of the Nigerian Army and indeed the country, with the sacrifices made to preserve the unity of the nation, especially now with the task of bringing the challenges of insecurity to its knees. This is the message sent by the Chief of Army Staff through the General Officer commanding 2 Division to the Inter-Brigade and Civil Secondary School quiz competition held in Ibadan, Oyo State capital. Larry Wiley has details.
The quiz competition between brigade and civil secondary schools is part of the programs to mark this year's Nigeria Army Day celebration. The participating schools contested keenly with each other, answering questions posed to them in subjects such as English, mathematics, and current affairs. In his message at the program, the General Officer Commanding 2 Division lamented the dwindling performance of students in schools.
Over the years, the standard of education has been falling. This could be attributed to several factors, which, among other things, is the unwilling attitude of our children to study. Vis-a-vis the nonchalant attitude exhibited by some instructors and even parents.
At the end of the quiz competition, Command Secondary School Ibadan came first with 32 points. Oyemekun Grammar School, Akure second with 31 points. while Imagwero College Senior School, Benin, Edo State came third with 30 points.
I was really challenged with the quiz.
I really get to learn a lot from the soldiers because they are working hard to protect our country.
The Army Day celebration is one of the major days in the Nigerian Army calendar, set aside annually to honor fallen heroes of the nation's army during conflict or war. In Ibadan, Larry Bileyi, NTA News.
Plans are on the way to replicate the construction of the federal government smart school project in each senatorial district of Oyo State to enhance quality learning system. Governor Seyi Makinde stated these during an interaction with the entourage of the Universal Basic Education Commission at his office in Ibadan. Kayode Oladushu reports.
Commending the universal basic education in Oyo State for uplifting the basic education and better education delivery for all, BESDA, an initiative of the state government to put an end to out-of-school children in Oyo State, Governor Makinde maintained that his administration will align with all the available procedure to run a better basic education system in the state.
For us, an example of how the state, the subnational government can collaborate with the federal government to ensure that the programs and the policies actually get the desired results at the local level.
Appreciating the proactive step of your state government on the implementation of various projects facilitated by the Commission, Permanent Secretary, Federal Minister of Education, says the team is pleased with the level of work done so far.
We collaborate extensively, members of your team, on all facets of our collaboration, and to ensure that at the end of the day, our people will have access to education at a basic level.
Our hope is to see how we could change the face of basic education in Nigeria.
The delegations of the Federal Minister of Education and Universal Basic Education Commission were in Oyo State to inspect the Smart Model School, a project of the federal government to boost information communication technology in public schools across the country. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladoshu, NTA News.
It's time to rejoin Najatu in Abuja studios for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you. We're talking electoral matters now. Violence against women during elections and the perceived non-inclusion of women in mainstream politics by political parties are major concerns for the Minister of Women Affairs, Dame Pauline Tallen. To address these issues, the Minister has led a delegation of women to INEC headquarters for possible areas of collaboration. Mayor Ogidi reports.
Active and visible are the polling booths, but almost invisible in the governance circle. That is the story of the Nigerian woman. This figure in the 2019 voter register shows their number. Female veteran politicians on the move to reinvent the political wheels for more inclusion, and INEC's involvement may hasten the process.
If INEC being the umpire to advise our political parties, this can be one of the conditions that unless gender equality comes to play, registration will not be accepted.
For INEC, talking about inclusivity is like preaching to the converted.
Then the converted needs to go for evangelism.
We will continue to encourage parties to also ensure affirmative action, particularly in the nomination of candidates for elections. On violence, the best way to tackle this problem is to enforce the laws of this country. We are not penalizing offenders enough.
While INEC gets involved in the E for She campaign, women must also get involved for the Come and Register for Voters card campaign. The INEC chair reminds the women in a lighter note. Mayor Ogede, NTA News.
The chairman of the All Progressives Congress 2021 Anambra Governorship Primary Appeals Committee, Governor Mohammed Inuwa Yahya, has appealed to aspirants who participated in last Saturday's primary election to demonstrate the true spirit of sportsmanship as Democrats and accept the outcome of the party's appeals committee in good faith. Addressing journalists after the committee's meeting at Buhari House, the national secretariat of the APC, Governor Inuwa Yahya said party members should respect the outcome of the primary election as an important pre-election process and urged them to work in unity for the party's success during the November 6 governorship election. He said the appeals committee will do justice to the 5 petitions it has received.
But getting any issues that arose out of that election in contention for discussion, dialogue, and a solution. And I think we've already gotten petitions from the candidates, and we shall trust them and find solution to all claims or observations made by the contestants. 5 petitions are with us right now, and we're giving time within which we shall conclude with them.
Secretary John James Akpanudo-Ede inaugurated the appeals committee on behalf of the Governor May Mala Buni-led caretaker and extraordinary convention committee. Deficit hostel accommodation in universities identified to be responsible for lack of concentration in studies and indulgence in illicit behavior is being tackled head-on at the University of Abuja in its desire to remodel the institution to make it a world-class and the pride of the nation. This is the thrust of a media briefing by the Vice-Chancellor on various efforts at uplifting the only federal university which has the entire nation as its catchment area. So much is being invested in equipment and other infrastructure critical to the provision of conducive learning.
Right. We want people when they come in to feel that they are in a worthwhile campus, in a world-class campus, in a campus that you feel it's a place for learning and teaching. You know, that the environment itself should stimulate you, should stimulate your zeal to learn.
While security in the school is given topmost attention, every course is to have industrial partners for a chance of students to be engaged after graduation, as well as the construction of a mini stadium considered to boost the institute's recreational aspect where students can compete with peers globally. And up next is Sports Update.
Welcome to Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye. Let's begin with football, as the Super Eagles of Nigeria say they are ready to take on their Mexican counterparts in an international friendly on Sunday morning. The team, dominated by home-based players, have been training in Los Angeles ahead of the match, with Coach Electoral already with the team. NFF President Amaju Pinnick, who visited the team at their camp, urged the players not to see themselves as Team B. The FIFA Council member also assured the players that more friendly matches have been lined up for them. Away to Euro 2020, where the concluding quarter-final matches will be decided on Saturday, with Czech Republic and Denmark facing off in the first match of the day, scheduled for 5 in the evening, while attention will shift to the Stadio Olimpico in Rome, Italy, 3 hours later, as Ukraine and England will be fighting for a place in the last 4. And finally, Germany midfielder Toni Kroos has announced his retirement from international football. The 31-year-old 2014 World Cup winner won 106 caps for the national team, scoring 17 goals and providing 19 assists. His final game came in the 2-0 loss to England in the last 16 of Euro 2020. And that does it on Sports Update. I am Bade Adeleye.
Sports Update concludes the news on Nationwide. Do remember to be a star and stand with NTA against rape and rapists. Thanks for watching. I'm Najat Tijani. Keep observing COVID-19 protocols.